Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 20th annual 2016 YWCA Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon presented by Huntington National Bank. We are down here at the Charleston Embassy Suites. I'm Whitney Wetzel with WCHS and Fox 11. We are proud sponsors, one of the sponsors of today's event. I want to bring in the family of one of our honorees today, Denise Burgess. And Denise, if you would come over here really quick. Congratulations on your award today. You are a registered nurse and a family counselor, and domestic violence is really important to you. Why is that?
For a lot of different reasons. I want to see women feel empowered to change that cycle in their life, and I think that there's a lot of opportunities for us to do that. And I think it's something that has a lifelong impact on children, and I would like to see us make that a public issue that we're addressing.
And you are, I notice that you are extremely involved in the community. Why is that so important to you, and why do you encourage other women, especially young women, to get involved as well?
Because I've been the recipient of many of those things, and I feel like that's a way children have a sense of belonging and accomplishment, and I feel like we all have an obligation to use our skills and gifts in that manner.
And how do you feel to be honored today?
It's beyond belief. I'm still in shock. I'm very honored, and these are great ladies to be included in this group with. So.
Absolutely. And what is your name?
My name's Mike Burgess.
I'm assuming you are Denise's husband.
I am.
How do you feel that she is being honored today?
I am incredibly proud of her and of the entire group of women. They're very special, and we're blessed to be a part of her life.
And how do you all feel? Are you her kids?
Yeah. I'm Aaron, Drew, my wife Courtney. Just happy, proud of her. Happy to be here to help her celebrate.
Has your mom always been really involved throughout the community while you guys were growing up?
Absolutely. Yeah. Lots for us as well as for tons of other people around Charleston and the community, so well deserved.
All right, well, congratulations again. An exciting day ahead. We're going to meet some of the honorees, some more of the honorees coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we are back live here at the Charleston Embassy Suites for the 2016 Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon. I have with me now Jane Powell, the committee chairwoman. Tell me a little bit about what's going on at today's event.
Hi, Whitney. It's my pleasure to talk about today's event. I am chair of the event. It is the 20th annual Women of Achievement to support the YWCA of Charleston, and it is so much fun. I can tell you 500 plus people in this room. They are going to have a great hour and a half for lunch.
Yeah, it is already packed. We're a little less than a half hour away from the actual luncheon. We've got our own little red carpet set up here, a little step and repeat. Just a really fun and exciting day ahead.
Thanks. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad everybody braved the weather to be here with us. So off for a great time.
And tell us a little bit just about why it's so important to honor women who are so heavily involved in the community. Why is that important to the organization?
Well, these 4 women and the 4 women that have come in all the years past are trailblazers in their career, trailblazers with their work for the community, and we want to honor that. We are an organization supporting women, so why not?
Thank you so much for speaking with us. It's going to be a fun day ahead. Have fun.
Thanks,
And
thank
you. We are going to talk to some more people in just a couple of minutes. We'll be right back.
I know.
Oh, it's on. And we are back at the Women of Achievement Awards red carpet ahead of today's luncheon. Just a couple of minutes ago, we met one of the honorees, Denise Burgess, and right now I have her sister. What is your name?
My name's Diana Long.
So nice to meet you. How do you feel to be here today?
Oh, we're so proud of her. The whole family came in. It's just such happy celebration for us, and we're so proud of her.
And maybe without embarrassing her, tell me a little bit about her.
I taught her everything she knows.
There you go, of course.
I've been teasing her to make sure she knows how to pronounce my name right. She's awesome. She's got a heart as big as Texas, and she's so giving always, and kind and funny and ornery. Nobody knows that part of her.
Really?
She has an ornery side. Yeah.
I see she's so heavily involved throughout the community. How does that make you feel?
I love it because people think I'm her a lot of times and will compliment me, and I was like, oh, thank you. And I'll call her and say, what were you doing there? So she's so involved, and it's just awesome.
Are you excited for today's luncheon?
I am, yeah.
Well, have fun.
And all the women, too. They're all worthy.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for talking with us. Have a good day. We're going to find some more people to talk to, and we'll be right back. And we are back at the 20th Annual Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon today at the Charleston Embassy Suites. Right now, I want to bring in another one of our honorees today, Sarah Bussey. Sarah, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel today?
Overwhelmed, and wow. Not between the Y, which does such great things, and my posse here, my whole family, which is amazing. I'm overwhelmed.
I see in your bio that you are a heavily involved with the community. You are a dedicated volunteer. Tell me a little bit about why volunteering and getting involved with the community is so important to you.
Well, we have to take care of our neighbors, and so many times those that really need it the most don't have the help. And people like the Y, Trinity's Table that I help with, we make sure that everyone is safe and healthy and well fed.
And as a woman, why do you think it's so important to be involved in the community, and what message do you have for other women, or especially young women?
Well, that's an easy one. If we don't take care of our neighbors, and we see so many women and children that come through our food kitchen, and they are struggling to make it and to be healthy and take care of their families. So we women need to support each other. Women need to take care of other women.
And volunteering, someone who likes to volunteer, that's such a selfless act. But how does it feel to be recognized for that?
I am so humbled. I truly don't deserve this. I really was shocked when they offered this. I have to thank my husband because he has put up with me volunteering all my life, which is pretty amazing. He and my kids and my family, they've allowed me to volunteer.
Yeah. And you have such a huge group here. I do want to talk to your husband, though. You say in her bio that she's never met a volunteer group that she didn't want to join. Are you very used to, over the years, her signing up for new things?
Oh, absolutely. And when you ask her how she felt about this honor, I can tell you how she felt. Very uncomfortable, because I don't think she's comfortable having the spotlight shown upon her. But she deserves it, and I'm tickled to death for her. I really am.
Yeah, how does it make you feel after watching her do all of these volunteer opportunities over the years and finally seeing her get some recognition?
It warms my heart, because she's done it not just in the last year or 2 years. She's done it all of her life. I mean, that's just the way she is. And, I feel as though my contribution to this whole thing is I take care of the kids I did the peanut butter and jelly and said, Sarah, see you later, and out she went. But it worked for us, and I'm very, very proud of her. She's really been an asset to the community, I feel, and she's been the best mom and wife in the world.
All right, well, congratulations to you. Very excited for you both. Have a good day. Thanks for speaking with us. No problem. We're going to be right back after we talk to some more honorees in just a couple of minutes. Right now with Kelly Whitlock. You are on the board of directors of the YWCA, and you are also one of the sponsors today with Huntington National Bank. You've been the lead sponsor for a couple of years now. Tell me a little bit about why it's so important for you all to sponsor today's event and get involved.
Well, we're happy to say that it's our fourth consecutive year of being the national or the sponsor, the lead sponsor here, and Huntington National Bank has a culture of giving back to their community, and all of the employees there are very proud to go out into the community and help those in need. So we're very proud of that fact.
And as a woman yourself, obviously, how does it feel to each year see so many women making such a difference in our community?
Oh, it's very inspiring. Every year I come to this, I leave with just such an uplifting spirit from being with all these women and hearing their accomplishments.
And since you've been here for a couple of years, there's a lot going on. We have this kind of red carpet before the actual luncheon, and then there's a lot more going on. Tell me a little bit about what is going to happen after the lunch and maybe what your favorite part is.
Well, we will hear from representatives of the sponsors. We have Rick Wisner, who's our community president, will be speaking just very shortly. Each nominee will, or honoree will be speaking. We will also hear from someone who's benefited from this program and given awards, and we'll eat and fellowship and have a good time.
And let me ask you this. For anybody who's watching and might be wondering how these women got nominated to be honorees, explain that process.
We actually have a nominating committee on the board who gets together, and we decide as that committee who is going to be an honoree.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kelly, for talking with us. Have a good day. We'll be right back with more. Back now at the 2016 Women of Achievement Awards. Joining me now is Kylie Schaefer with Bridge Street Insurance, and you all are actually the 2016 Empowerment Award winner sponsors, and you have been for about 9 years, correct?
We are. This is our 9th year sponsoring the award. We are always so delighted to partner with the Y. Our mission and our objectives at our company are so closely aligned with the Y that it's great for us to come out and support the Y and present this award every year.
And this award is given to one of the 4 honorees each year. What does the award mean?
The award is given to a woman who has overcome adversities or travesties of her past, and she's risen above those to become a productive member of the workforce and her community, and she's ultimately reached her fullest potential.
And this year's winner is Davin Burrows. Tell me a little bit about Davin.
Devin moved to Charleston from Virginia. Her family became the target of gang violence in Newport News, Virginia, and she has 7 children. And her children became the target of that violence. And so she had basically just had enough, and they fled and moved here to Charleston. They were going to live with a relative, and that fell through. And that's when they turned to the Y for their services.
So why was she the easy choice, really, for this award this year?
She is just proof of what a strong, determined woman can do. She's turned her life around. She's living on her own. She's utilized the Y's services to do that and get where she wanted to be. And so she was just a very deserving member and embodied all the principles of their organizations.
Are you excited for today's event?
I am. I'm always excited.
Thank you very much for talking with us. Have a good day at the rest of the luncheon. We'll be right back with some more honorees. Linda Arnold, one of the past honorees of the Women of Achievement Award. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thanks, Whitney. I had the Arnold Agency, multi-state marketing company for years, and I'm also a syndicated columnist. I write a column called Live Life Fully, and that's certainly what this event embodies here today. All these women and the YWCA getting behind empowerment. It's the energy is just amazing.
And the year that you were honored, whenever you found out that you were going to be one of the honorees, how did that make you feel? Do you still remember?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I was talking to this year's honorees, and I said, I know exactly how you feel. Just soak it in. I mean, just so honored and humbled out of all of the wonderful talent pool we have here. It just feels, and it's such a kinship. You know, I think we all support each other, and that's what really makes it go round.
And being here and meeting the honorees for this year, and just kind of at one point, obviously, you were in their shoes, so you know how they feel. What is it like, though, being a past honoree and seeing more women kind of joining this club almost?
It's amazing, and we had a reception a few weeks ago. We all get together once a year, and the ranks keep growing, and I'm just, like I said, honored to be among others that has the energy and passion and drive, and the YWCA does such a wonderful job of everything in the community, and I think it brings us all together, and I'm excited. I'm excited for every year's group, and I feel like we all feed off the energy and enthusiasm of each other.
Yeah, there's a lot going on today. What is your favorite part about the day?
I think the talks, I think when they get up there and you really see from the heart, from the heart and soul of what it means, and it just gets me every year.
And last question, why is it so important for women especially to get involved in the community, or what message do you have for other women, especially young women?
That's a great question, and I think our area has so many opportunities, and the orientation they do for the honorees around to all of the different properties, all of the different causes that the YWCA supports, from sojourners to Shanklin to the homeless. You know, it's so much to do, and there's a role for everyone. And I think what I would say out there is that everyone has talent, everyone has energy, and let's just bring it all together.
Linda Arnold, thank you so much for talking with us. One of the past honorees of the Women of Achievement Award. Have such a great day.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, nice to meet you. We'll be right back. We're going to find some more people to talk to. We'll be right back. Castleberry, you are one of the sponsors of today's event. What organization are you with?
I'm with Greystone Consulting here in Charleston.
How long have you been? Are you a first-year sponsor?
No, we've been a sponsor for many, many years.
And why is this an event that you choose to get involved with each year?
Well, we just really support the programs that the YWCA runs. We're a big supporter of Deb Weinstein. We think she does a great job, and anything that we can do to empower women and eliminate racism, we think is great for our community.
And from a man's perspective, what is it like to be here with so many strong women being honored today?
Well, I have no problem with it. I actually like being in the minority, but we're just a big supporter of what the YWCA does here in town.
What is your favorite part about the day? Because there's so much that goes on throughout the whole entire day. What's your favorite part?
I just love to hear the stories of the women, the different backgrounds, and especially the one about overcoming problems and issues. And I just love to see what people have done in their past.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much for talking with us. We'll be right back in just a second. Strong, you are one of the past honorees of the Women of Achievement Award. Tell me a little bit about what that award meant to you whenever you were a recipient.
Well, it's such an honor, first of all, to be involved with such a great organization as the YWCA. They do such wonderful events for women and children in the community. It's unbelievable, and I don't think you realize it until you become involved with this, of all the great things they do in the Kanawha Valley.
And tell me a little bit about yourself, because I noticed that the common theme with all the honorees is that they are heavily involved throughout the community. What are you involved with?
Actually, I'm the president of Manpower, so we employ a lot of people, but also believe in giving to a lot of different community events. So the YWCA, even this past year, I have worked with, we have our own foundation, so we have given money for art classes for all the children throughout the YWCA at the Mel Wolf Center. And then we also sponsored some playground equipment. I've given a soccer, big into the soccer community, so actually gave the city of Charleston a soccer field that's named after my late husband. So very involved with lots of different organizations.
And how does it feel being a past honoree? So you know what it's like to be in these women's shoes. Watching the women who are going to be honored today, how does it make you feel?
Just so proud of the women that have come before me and the women that have come after, because we're all trying to do just great things and to be, to give back to the community that have made us who we are.
Thank you so much for talking with us, Diane. I feel like everyone is starting to go in and get ready for the luncheon. Have a good day. And I think that just about wraps up our day here on the red carpet at the 2016, the 20th annual YWCA Women of Achievement Awards. The luncheon is going to begin in just a couple of minutes at noon. That is when everyone will get to meet all 4 honorees. It's been such a pleasure being your host today. Have a great rest of your Friday.
Start flashing things. Good afternoon. It's my sincere pleasure to welcome you to the 20th Annual Women of Achievement Luncheon. My name is Sarah Brown, and I'm honored to serve as the board president for the YWCA of Charleston. At this time, I would like to ask all current and past board members to stand and be recognized for your service, and please remain standing. I am, and stay on your feet, ladies. I'm continually amazed by the work of this group, and I'm going to ask that they be put to work again today. They're used to that request. We are going to say the mission statement of the YWCA, which is how we begin each of our board meetings. So please join me. The YWCA is dedicated to eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. Thank you. This mission statement grounds the work of the entire organization, from our programs serving homeless women and families, survivors of domestic violence, victims of elder abuse, and low-income working families in need of quality child care, to our advocacy in the arenas of public policy and racial injustice. The work of the YWCA to achieve our mission and provide those crucial services would not be possible without the strong support of our community. Thanks to each of you here today for your ongoing support and commitment to the YWCA. It is my pleasure to introduce to you one of our key community partners, Rick Wisner, Community President of Huntington National Bank. Rick is not only a leader in business, but he's a leader in making our community a better place to live. We so appreciate Huntington National Bank's commitment to our community and to the YWCA. I'd like to invite Rick to share his thoughts with us about Huntington's ongoing commitment to the YWCA.
Thanks, Sarah. This is a rowdy crowd in here today. Welcome, and thanks to all of you. We're again a sellout. It's about, 4 or 5 years running now, it's been a sellout, which is really just a fitting testament of your recognition of the remarkable achievements and contributions of our 4 amazing honorees today, and some of whom who were enabled by programs initiated by the YWCA. At Huntington Bank, we strive to partner with organizations that kind of sync up to our own philanthropic program. And if you look in your program, it's on page 36. That's elaborated a little bit. And particularly those that clearly exhibit a passion, dedication, and diligence to their mission and programming. What is there else to say? The YWCA is an obvious choice as a partner. I'm going to add a little commentary here just because I kind of feel the need. You know, our community, you get out and take a little walk around, go out beyond your normal boundaries and look around. You don't have to look too far to see that there is a tremendously increasing need of people who need assistance for whatever reason. And it's there, it's been increasing, and it's going to continue to increase. However, the funding to support this effort is not keeping pace and may become worse. You know, we've had a lot of economic impact in certain industries. I talked in my line of work, talked to many CEOs and CFOs, and they're quite frank in indicating that their discretionary funds are being cut back. And I think, Deb, you told me you're looking at a 15% decrease. So I guess the whole point of that is those of you that are currently supporting the YWCA, thank you, and please continue to do so. And if you haven't, or if you're not, please think about getting involved, be a volunteer, give some financial resources, whatever you can do, because programmatically, the YWCA, their tentacles reach about everything that's going on in the community, and there's a lot of need out there. So thank you if you are involved. Congratulations to this year's honorees. All smiling faces. So please join myself and all of my Huntington colleagues and a grateful community in thanking Debbie and the YMCA staff, Sarah and our board of directors, and all the many volunteers who work tirelessly to sustain the YWCA mission. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be truly inspired by the stories of our honorees. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Huntington. We're grateful today to have Father Leon Alexander of the Diocese of Wheeling, Charleston with us to provide our invocation. Father Leon has recently retired from active ministry, but served as pastor at Blessed Sacrament in South Charleston for more than 20 years. Thank you, Father Leon.
Let us pray. God of creation and love, in a world far too often beset by hatred, violence, and prejudice, we far too infrequently become aware of the intrinsic goodness of people who exhibit purpose in their lives and who are a blessing to all. Today, we are truly blessed with 4 women of remarkable achievement. We know their deeds and their accomplishments. We pray that we might be inspired to emulate them in their focus, energy, and dedication, for you have graced them abundantly and given them to us as examples of your love and your care. We are always thankful to you for your great gifts of life, love, and especially empowerment to those who serve. And we ask now for your continued presence in our lives and request your guidance now and always in your good and gracious name. Amen.
Please enjoy your lunch and we'll reconvene shortly. Thank you. I know you're all enjoying one another's company. I think there's such a great energy that comes from this room and gathering some of the best in our community to get together over lunch. So I hope we'll keep this energy going. I do see many elected and appointed officials have taken the time to join us today. If you would stand so that you may be recognized for your valuable public service and your commitment to the YWCA, please, all elected and appointed officials with us today. This is not a group that's normally shy, but I see a few that were remaining seated, but we do thank you for being here today. As I'm sure you can all appreciate, this gathering comes together as a result of the efforts of many. I would like to take this opportunity to express my appreciation to some of the individuals and organizations who have helped to make this event happen, beginning with our volunteer committee led this year by board member Kim Burton and former board member Jane Powell. Thank you. I would like to thank Steve Payne for his services as photographer, Dan Shreve with the Media Center for today's red carpet experience, Charlie Cooper with AdMix Broadcast for today's sound and video. Please join me in thanking those individuals. I would also like to thank Dr. Brian Hemphill and West Virginia State University for again hosting our Breakfast with Champions. Breakfast with Champions is an event that's held in the lead up to today's luncheon, where our 4 honorees gathered for breakfast with a group of 5th grade girls from our 4 local elementary schools. These girls were identified as potential leaders and also potentially at risk. We invited these girls to visit the West Virginia State University campus so that they could envision themselves as being on a college campus. Our Women of Achievement shared their stories with these young girls to inspire and empower them. Dr. Hemphill also spoke, and his message of the importance of education was echoed by each of our honorees. Thank you to Dr. Hemphill and West Virginia State. I'd like to formally recognize the financial supporters of Women of Achievement. Again, our title sponsor, Huntington National Bank. Our Empowerment Award sponsor, who you'll hear from, Brick Street Insurance. And I'll list our benefactor level sponsors: Appalachian Power, BB&T West Virginia Foundation, Charleston Area Medical Center, Columbia Pipeline Group, Highland Hospital, Diana Long and Donna Peel, the Media Center, Steptoe and Johnson PLLC, and finally the Sarah Bussey Fan Club. Thank you. To each of our sponsors who you'll find listed in the program, we are most grateful. We'd ask that each of you review that list in the program and please provide your support and appreciation to those organizations that do make this event possible and enable our mission. I also want to highlight our Leaders for Change program, which invites corporations to partner with the YWCA to provide ongoing support and resources for our critical social service programs. This is a source of stable funding and enables us to continue the serious responsibility of providing high-quality services to the most vulnerable among us. We are grateful to these corporations that partner with us in furtherance of our mission. Our 2016 Leaders for Change at the Peace level, the BB&T Foundation and Brick Street Insurance, at the Justice level, Appalachian Power and Columbia Pipeline Group, the Freedom level, Huntington National Bank, and the Dignity level, Charleston Area Medical Center, City National Bank, and United Bank. Together, we work for justice in our systems, freedom from violence, dignity in our lives, and ultimately, peace in our communities. Thanks to each of these leaders for change. I would also like to invite each of you to further engage with the YWCA. I echo Rick's sentiments, but also if you would take a moment and on the back of your ticket, there's an opportunity to provide us with your contact information. If you haven't done so yet, please complete the back of your ticket and feel free to leave it on your table or drop it at the table as you leave today. We look forward to continuing to work with you in furtherance of our mission. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the Executive Director of the YWCA of Charleston, Debbie Weinstein. I have more to say about her. I know we can't hold our applause for this woman. On the one hand, she's a tough woman to introduce. How do you briefly summarize the woman who goes from engaging with our elected officials, partnering with corporate leaders, to counseling women escaping abusive situations and ensuring that all have a bed to sleep in and food to eat? On the other hand, she hardly needs an introduction, particularly in this room, where I know many of you have witnessed firsthand her passion and her enthusiasm for the work of the YWCA. Deb, please come forward and recognize your staff of the YWCA and our programs.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here again. I'm going to step a little bit out. We have thanked our sponsors and our partners, and I just want to take a quick minute and thank my husband, James Ross, just because I can. You know, last night was typical of most nights with us. He's cooked this amazing dinner. I promise I'll be home at 7:30. And I walk in the door at about 8:45. And I really appreciate all that you do to help lift me up in order that I can help do the work that I do. I have a little brief speech to give before I introduce the YWCA staff. Life is precious. I've had the privilege with this wonderful organization this year to hold newborn babies at both of our shelters and at our Millwolf Child Development Center while glowing mothers looked on. I've hugged repeatedly all of the elders in our elder abuse housing project, the Shanklin Center. I have witnessed the pain and terror of a woman whose abuser tried and almost successfully killed her parents, her siblings, and herself. And I have witnessed the ravages of heroin addiction and learned how to hold my judgment in check and offer a hand up, as I have not walked in those shoes. When I look back on my collage of experiences in the past 12 months with the YWCA, I rejoice in the courage and the successes of our clients that we have served, the ability of many to move forward in their lives without their trauma totally defining who they are and what their future looks like is breathtaking. And I'm so very proud of the YWCA through the support of our board of directors to act nimbly in times of tragedy. When Reverend Clementa Pinckney and 8 fellow worshipers were brutally murdered in a racially motivated shooting on June 17th, 2015 at the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina, the response from Charleston, West Virginia was immediate. The YWCA, in collaboration with One Kanawha, Compassionate Charleston, and the City of Charleston, helped to organize an initiative called A Legacy of Love, a gift from Charleston, West Virginia to Charleston, South Carolina. In addition to several consciousness-raising events that were held, several $1,000s were raised to to assist the families of the victims of the Emmanuel AME Church shooting, as well as to continue Reverend Pinkney's work in his community with disadvantaged youth. And I look at our Women of Achievement 2016 honorees, and I am deeply inspired by their passion and their fearlessness as they work tirelessly to respond to needs in our community. Denise Burgess, who, amongst other admirable volunteer and professional accomplishments, is taking on one of our most important challenges through her work at CAMC, helping pregnant women to get clean and working with drug-addicted moms and babies for positive outcomes. Sarah Bussey, community volunteer extraordinaire, and sign me up as for one of your fan club, who helped organize Trinity's Table, where she and a cadre of volunteers that she corrals every Sunday, and you don't say no to her, serve 500 dinners to hungry people in need. Mary Jean Davis, through her leadership on City Council, totally embraces and embodies the philosophy of our former mayor, Mike Rourke, who I learned a lot from. Mike believed that the genuine quality of a city can only be assessed by the way it treats its least fortunate citizens. Mary Jean works tirelessly on initiatives with our forward-thinking mayor, Danny Jones, and others to lift up and benefit all of our citizens. And Denise Burgess, our Empowerment Award winner, has a smile that will light up this entire room. She is the example to all of us of how to be resilient in the face of terrible challenges. None of the work of the YWCA would be possible without the 100 employees of the YWCA who operate our social service programs and retail operations with the mission of the YWCA front and center, eliminating racism, empowering women, YWCA. Somebody needs to write a song. Those village people just got it wrong. I would like to introduce our YWCA senior management team and ask that you hold your applause to the end, and then we're going to get right to the program. If our staff could stand when I call your name, please, that would be great. Andrea Thaxton, our executive assistant. Lynn Fish, Director of Finance and Administration. Linda Trail, Assistant Business Manager. Kate Flack, Development Director. Sarah King, Communications and Development Coordinator. Pam Gillenwater, Director, YWCA Resolve Family Abuse Program. Margaret Taylor, Director, YWCA Sojourner Shelter for Homeless Women and Families. Kyla Nichols, Director of our YWCA Alicia McCormick Homes, Shanklin Center, and Empowerment Homes. Jenna Elmore, Director, YWCA Mel Wolf Child Development Center, and Erin Turner, Director of Retail Operations, and she runs past and present gently used clothing and our second seating gently used furniture store. Thank you all. You are boots on the ground.
The Women of Achievement Award was created 20 years ago to recognize women in our community who are outstanding in their personal and professional achievements, as well as in their contributions to our community. Each of our honorees, past and present, embodies the YWCA's mission of empowering women. Not only are these women powerful voices in our community, each takes on the role of empowering others, and in her own way promotes peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. I'd like to ask for each of the former Women of Achievement honorees in attendance today to stand and be recognized. Members of our Board of Directors will now introduce you to each of this year's honorees, our 2016 YWCA Charleston Women of Achievement.
Good afternoon. I'm Mary Agnes Kern. I'm the treasurer of the Y, and it is my utmost pleasure to introduce Denise Burgess. Denise, as you can read in your program, is RN extraordinaire, a counselor, a mediator, former director of OB services for CAMC. But those are not the things I really want to dwell on when I'm introducing her, because I have a personal relationship with Denise that some of you might not know about. In this year of mercy, I can't believe how much Denise embodies our mission statement. Also, there are several things in the year of mercy that we talk about all year long, such as counseling the doubtful. I've seen firsthand where Denise has a special relationship with young people, takes them aside, makes them feel like they're number one in whatever they're doing. I've seen it firsthand for years. Comforts the afflicted. That goes without saying as an RN, but I've seen it in many other cases too, whether on a field trip, anything that we do personally, she's the go-to person to take care and heal people, whether it be personal or physical. Forgiveness of sinners. Not that we're all not sinners, but Denise has a special quality in that she can forgive anybody who's harmed anyone else. And you might not believe this, but I've seen it firsthand. When she lost her dear father, she treated her father with dignity and respect, and it just went above and beyond what I will never forget the situation there. She's patient with others. She feeds the hungry, as does our beloved Sarah. She welcomes strangers into her home. She cares for the sick. She just lost her beloved sister and stood by her to the very end and welcomed her family into her own loving family's arms. Denise was with her every step of the way, much more so than any of us can believe. I have great respect for Denise because she's been a coach of young people for years in her community of South Charleston. She takes time out of her life to spend and give these kids a feeling that they can do anything, they can rise above anything, that they're better than anybody, and she did that for years and spent her time doing that. She worked in summer vacation camps, using her own time, her vacation time, to work in summer vacation camps when some of these kids, it was their first time away from home, empowered them to know that they could stand up and be themselves, and it was a wonderful experience for those children, I'm sure. In getting ready for my speech, I decided to interview two groups to find out about other sides of Denise that I might not know about. One were medical students and residents, and what they all told me was that Denise does things the right way. In OB, that's not always so easy, but she sticks to her guns. She will never go with anything that's not the right thing to do. And they said it's very difficult to stand up against physicians in some cases. I'm sure none of you are here, but she will do the right thing and stand by what is the right thing to do regardless. She never backs down. I talked to several other young adults that grew up with her children's age groups, and I said, is there anything that you'd like me to say about Denise when I come up? And they said, we always were amazed because there were a lot of mothers who didn't have full-time jobs while we were going to school, but Denise worked, but she was always there for everything. She was there for all of us. She never backed down. She would never miss a field trip. She never missed a team lunch. She was there, and they're amazed by that now that they're all working age, that somebody could manage to balance all that and make everyone feel so important in her life, whether it be her work associates, the kids, her family. She worked for everybody. She instills confidence in people. She has a work ethic that she instills in her family and friends. She's dedicated to community service, and you can clearly see the fruits of this in her loving family. She has the second nicest husband in the world. She has 2 accomplished sons and a beautiful daughter-in-law who have listened and have been empowered. They've never been handed anything in life. They've worked hard, and they've grown by her loving example. It's my honor to introduce my very, very dear friend, Denise Burgess.
Oh, wow. Can I just say what she said and sit down? Thank you so much to the YWCA for this incredible honor. It's beyond anything I would ever have dreamt or believed possible. I want to share with you the integrity of my fellow honorees because I have tried for the last couple of weeks to bribe them shamelessly to be the one to go first, and none of them would accept my bribe. We were asked to share our story, and that kind of gave me pause because I thought, does that mean I have to tell you about speeding tickets in U-Haul trucks and jet skis and things of that nature? So it was a little difficult to think about that. Then Deb Weinstein took the four of us on a tour. Now, you want to talk about women of achievement. I don't know where our community would be without the works that this lady has driven and set up and made possible. So thank you so very much. What we saw in each of those facilities was a common theme, and that was people with complex issues, many challenges in their lives, and a staff using their gifts and talents and stretching resources as far as they could possibly go, and all the while treating each of those recipients with dignity and respect. And the theme of the Y is to empower people, and that is the mission that you see and feel, and it's very tangible in each of those services. It was during that tour at Resolve Family Abuse that I realized there, but by the grace of God and the acts of many kind people, go I. There was no such thing as Resolve Family Abuse or the West Virginia Coalition Against Domestic Violence in the 60s. My sisters and I navigated through that with each other. But I want to be accurate today when I say that my sisters and I are not victims of domestic violence, and we are not survivors of domestic violence. We are transformers of domestic violence. Our sons have no concept of living in fear because we made conscious decisions to break those cycles in our lives. The fear and the prejudice that was tangible in our family of origin is a foreign concept to our sons. And I know that when they look at people, they do not see the color of their skin or their sexual orientation or their ethnicity. They see human beings. But today isn't about revisiting trauma. It's about celebrating the individuals who cared enough for me to reach out to me, and because of their efforts, I believe in my heart that I am here today. Nothing that you've read in any bio about Denise Burgess was accomplished alone, but with incredible groups of people who worked alongside me with the Drug Addicted Mom Baby Program or the initiatives of the Ray of Hope House. And these are people who have been passionate about making a difference in the lives of other people. I wish that I could invite all these people up here on this platform with me today so you could applaud them. I'd have Lois Brady, our neighbor, who always had a glass of iced tea and a safe place on her porch to sit every day. Teachers who saw something in me and pushed me to challenge myself. Parents of friends who fed me and chauffeured me and who would call me out if I was misbehaving, which was often, and I needed that. One of the young ladies at the Breakfast of Champions last week asked me what inspired me. Well, these individuals inspire me. My husband, I'm sorry, Mary Agnes, I have the best husband, you have the second best husband, who literally treats everyone with dignity and respect all over the world. Our sons who have this amazing zest for life and who've taught me a lot about balancing my life. My beautiful daughter-in-law, who isn't big as a minute, but is a mighty warrior, and she is a woman of achievement in her own right. My mom, who battled a lot of stereotypes about working women and divorced women in the 60s. My older sisters, who are both incredibly brave, warm women, and you are the wind beneath my wings. My very dearest lifelong friend, Terry Meyer, who will look at me and say, yes, those pants do make your butt look big. She would never really say that. But she also hugs me and lifts me up when I run out of brave. All of my friends in my life who help my spirit grow by making me belly laugh. And some of you are in this room, and I'm not going to look at you because I know if I do, I will start laughing inappropriately. I'm inspired by the courage of my infertility patients who put so very much trust in us every day in their most vulnerable of times. Dr. Joan Phillips and Dr. Janae Walker, who are two women of my generation, and back in those days, 50% of the med school classes were not women, and they were incredible. And they have taken their talents and gifts, and they care for some of the most needing patients in our community. So bless you, ladies. I know you're here in the room. I've seen you earlier, but thank you because you inspire me. I could go on and on and on because I've been blessed with many of these people in my life. The theme here is that none of these people are extraordinary in what they do every day. They would say that this is nothing, it's just what I'm supposed to do. But the combination of these perpetual acts of kindness has saved my life. They've given me courage and direction. Ladies and gentlemen, with privilege comes responsibility. Each of us is called to serve. Mother Teresa said, if you're busy judging people, you cannot love them. Anyone can draw a line in the sand. It takes courage and insight to build bridges. I believe that our biggest threat doesn't come from the person that's on the other side of the issue from me. Our biggest threat comes from apathy. Whatever your gifts and talents are, there is someone out there who can benefit from your sharing. It's scary hiding under that bed while violence rages in your home. Don't let any child go without your compassion. Encourage that person who needs hope. Lead the person who has lost their way. Be an instrument of peace. We all have an obligation to do so. In closing, I just want to share these lyrics. Who knows if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Good afternoon. I am Jennifer Viewig, and I am the Marketing and Communications Chair for the YWCA, and I am very honored to get to introduce Sarah Bussey today. If it's up to Sarah Bussey, you are going to love reading. You're going to appreciate classical music, you'll be blessed with beautiful gardens, you will never go hungry, and you will always have a friend. That is because Sarah has dedicated her life to making Charleston a better place to live, work, and be. She's helped make our city a true community. And although Sarah has many career-related accomplishments to her credit, I don't want to dwell on those today. Because Sarah's passion is volunteering. Her heart is for those who are hurting. And it is that passion that has driven her to quietly improve the lives of thousands, literally thousands of people here in our community. Sometimes she's providing strategic leadership to groups like the West Virginia Symphony, the Clay Center for the Arts and Sciences, Read Aloud West Virginia, and the Kanawha County Master Gardeners. But at other times, she's on the front lines of volunteering with groups like Covenant House, Family Counseling Connection, the Religious Coalition for Community Renewal, I had to practice that, and Sacred Heart and Charleston Catholic High Schools. She's always been there to lend a hand, share her heart, and offer a wise word of counsel. And while all of these groups have benefited from her service, she's best known for her work with Trinity's Table through Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church. For those of you not familiar with Trinity's Table, it is an outreach ministry located on the east end of Charleston that provides 500 healthy, balanced meals every Sunday to anyone who crosses the doorway. Whether individuals are hungry for a tasty dinner, a friendly face, or a willing ear, Trinity's Table truly nourishes not only the body, but also the soul. And much of that is thanks to Sarah's hard work. She is described by her friends as Wonder Woman personified, a servant with a talent for growing things, whether it be plants, friendships, and to Charleston's benefit, communities. She is the epitome of a YWCA woman of achievement, and we are truly blessed to have her as part of our city. So without further ado, it is my great honor and privilege to introduce 2016 Woman of Achievement, Sarah Bussey.
I'll just get this out of the way now. Can I just stand here and look at you for a minute? This is, wow, wow. I mean, Charleston is one great place to live. Wow, thank you. I want to thank the YWCA for this award. I'm overwhelmed. I've used that word a lot today and for the last month and a half, 2 months, 3 months, and I'm honored. I have to say thank you first to my husband, Bob, and to my kids, because for many, many years, they were accustomed to coming home to cold sandwiches, even though I had cooked all day long. Fancy gourmet meals. They'd come in, open the fridge, and say, Mom, can I have this lasagna? Nope. Can I have these brownies? No. Those are for a new baby or a grieving family or a new neighbor or someone at school or someone at church. They were very patient with me. I did cook for them occasionally. A few chicken nuggets went through, homemade, went through our house. I also need to thank my girlfriends. We're about women here. And without my girlfriends, I don't know how I would have made it through. They allowed me to rope them into project after project after project after project after project. And they kept me very grounded. They let me know when we were a little over the edge. These women ran the volunteers at Sacred Heart and Charleston Catholic and Read Aloud and all the places like CEOs run corporations. Any of you would be fortunate as companies to have these women. When I was told about this honor, I was shocked. And I think there are so many people out there who are doing this every day to make this one of the most caring places to live in the world. There's Deb, there's Jean, there's Sue, there's Robin, there's Ellen. I could name so many names of people who are on the front lines and fighting every day for those in need. Like I've always done, I held myself to a very high standard, very unrealistic. I assumed all of these women were pretty darn perfect. Then I started talking to the other honorees and these women, and I realized that we're all a little frayed around the edges. We all have skeletons. We all have issues and fears and doubts. And every one of these women that has received this award that I've talked to was shocked as I was that they were, when they got the call, they were like, we couldn't believe it. Throughout my life, I feel like I've always been compared, as we all do, to others. In high school at South Charleston High, the teachers wanted to know if I was as brilliant as my brother, as talented as my sister. It only took a week at college for me to call home from Wake Forest, which was a million miles away back in that day. We didn't have internet. I called home and I said, Dad, Mom, every girl here is brilliant. Every girl here is talented. They're athletic. And since I was 18, and they're all skinny and they're all beautiful. The comparisons continued. When you're a young mom, you wonder, are stay-at-home moms equal to working moms? That competition that we've silly set up for ourselves. Was my garden growing faster than everyone else's? Could my kids, and insert, walk, read, shoot a free throw, score the highest on the SAT, you name it, were they as good as my friends' kids, my neighbors' kids? Father Leon, was my Lutheran church as good as Bob's Catholic church? Father Leon was a big part of our wedding, so I'm allowed to say that. But those comparisons were always there, and it took me a lot of time to realize that none of that mattered. None of that matters. All of us are a little frayed around the edges, and all of us are human. When the good folks at the YWCA asked us to talk about ourselves, we all cringed. But that challenge made me think about why I do what I do. And it comes down to lessons I learned from two people, my parents. My larger-than-life dad was a dedicated and ambitious businessman and volunteer. He loved Charleston. And he loved to say that people crossed Capitol Street either to hear his jokes or to get away from his jokes. Those of you who knew him know exactly what I'm saying. he told me when I was young and through my whole life, I could be anything I wanted to be. I could be president. I could be a CEO. I could be supermom. I could do anything. Nobody was better than me. And he told me that all the time. But it was my sweet mom, in her quiet and kind way, who taught me something just as important. She made coffee for the trash collectors. She insisted that every child in our class, even that unpopular and uncomfortable child, was at our birthday parties. Our home was a safe place for friends. Nobody ever left hungry. We found an address, a listing in my mom's address book when she passed away, and we'd gotten someone to come in and help her because she was ill, and the listing said a phone number and Sue, my cleaning friend. She told me that while I was special, no one was less than me. No one was inferior to me, and no one was below me. I'm just a really small part of what it takes to put on that meal every week, very small. Every single one of the Trinity's Table family is a hero. They cook, they pick up food, they serve, they clean, they nourish, they minister. They make our guests feel comfortable. When we go home on Sunday nights after serving 400 or 500 meals, and we're a bit foot weary, and we're wondering, is it all worth the time and effort? You just have to stand in that kitchen and have someone come in for seconds and thirds and fourths, and then finally they come back in and we're like, you want more? Because they're our buddies. And they say, no, we just came in to say thank you. It was delicious. Then there's the volunteers. A middle school boy came to volunteer with us one Sunday, and his mom told me later that he was crying that night in his room. And I thought, what have I done? Did I make him take out the trash or something? She said he admitted that he sometimes made fun of the downtrodden that he would see on the streets. He was a middle school boy. Then he served warm meals to them. He told his mom he learned that they were dirty because they didn't have showers. They didn't have homes. He learned that they were friendly and kind and not a lot different than everybody else. He also learned that he was capable of making a difference because no one was better than him able to do it. But most importantly, he learned that no one was less than him. Right now, my mom and dad are smiling. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ashley Showen, and I serve on the YWCA Board of Directors, and it is my honor today to introduce you to Mary Jean Davis. Dedicated, passionate, influential. These are just a few words friends and colleagues have used to describe City Councilwoman Mary Jean Davis. Mary Jean is a Charleston native, and it is clear through her work that she loves her hometown. While her education background is in nursing to help people get better, her true calling is making Charleston a better place to live, visit, work, and play. Mayor Danny Jones commented that she is the best member of City Council in America because she cares so deeply about the city of Charleston and looks for ways to improve our city every day. Mary Jean is dedicated to preserving the history of our community while also pushing to establish new partnerships and traditions that will foster economic vitality. She worked closely with Ms. Schoenbaum and many others on the creation of the Schoenbaum stage and the improvements at Haddad Riverfront Park, now a highly successful venue for concerts and events. She attends nearly every meeting of the neighborhood associations and committees and was integral in bringing together the two Main Street organizations, making them more cohesive and efficient. She serves on too many committees to count and currently chairs the Planning Committee of Council, the Strong Neighborhood Task Force, and the Riverfront Committee. She has also been working tirelessly on the Civic Center redesign and is dedicated to making Charleston a destination for tourism, meetings, and events. When not fulfilling her duties as councilwoman, Mary Jean has volunteered her time with other community organizations, including RCCR, Daymark, and First Presbyterian Church, just to name a few. Deputy Mayor Rod Blackstone remarked that Mary Jean's life has truly been consequential to the city of Charleston and to the many improvements made over the past 15 years. A wife, mother of 3, and grandmother to 11 grandchildren, Mary Jean is currently serving her 5th term on City Council, and she certainly isn't slowing down. Her enthusiasm and drive are contagious, and she continues to inspire our community to work together to create a lasting legacy for future generations in Charleston. Please join me in congratulating Mary Jean Davis as one of the 2016 Women of Achievement.
Well, I would tell you that it was amazing walking into this room and seeing so many friends. There are so many of you in here that I have worked with over the years, that you have led me, you have supported me, and you're here today to support the Y. I thank you for that. I now know why Denise, I should have gone first. My husband would laugh at this point. I wrote 19 speeches for today. Denise has given the first half, and Sarah, thank you, you've given the second half. Thank you, Ashley, for those remarks. I really appreciate them. Good afternoon, everybody. This is an amazing event. When Deb first came to me, I'm used to Deb coming to me, and you all know this. When she comes, she wants something. She invited me to breakfast, and I joined her at breakfast, and of course we talked about everything under the sun, about the Y. And then she said, just interjected it, you're going to be making a speech. And I looked at her and I said, what? She said, you're going to be making a speech. And I said, Deb, what is it you want? When she told me of this honor, it is very humbling. It's absolutely very humbling to stand here before all of you, because I stand on many of your shoulders. It is a very humbling, I've written this down. I can talk about the Civic Center, but to talk about achievements, I have to write things down. It's so very humbling to receive this unbelievable recognition from the YWCA. I am truly honored. Thank you. I'm grateful for my friends who are here, who after this will tell me and critique me as to what I did wrong or what I failed to say. I love being here today with my friends and their support. My family is here. They traveled last night from Maryland, and they traveled let me introduce my family. My daughter, Debbie Graff, they're sitting over there. And I'm supposed to say this, my wonderful son-in-law, F.T. Graff. Tierney King, who came through the snow last night to be here. She had to get a substitute for school. And Kevin Davis. Kevin, look there, Kevin. We have 11 grandchildren, and the best part about it is the 6 girls are all here. The boys could not make it. I would introduce the King girls, Adeline, Amelia, and Ariana. Please raise your hands. The Davises, Hattie and Georgie, and Hannah Graff. These are amazing girls. They have great grades. They are friends to many people, and they are skilled. I've got one that's a soccer player that could knock the ball from one end of this room to the other. I've got one that can dance. I've got one that played lacrosse. I'm very blessed to have you. Now, I can't leave out my husband. As they said, I have the best husband. Just want you to know, okay. My husband has been with me, you need to give him sympathy, for 53 years. He is truly my rock and support. Now I'm going to leave out the part that Denise gave you about our advantages in our meetings that we had with the Y. Amazing, amazing breakfast with fifth graders. One of them turned to me as she was sitting at the table with me, and she said, with a look and an attitude, "Are you listening to me?" And Deb knows, as soon as I stood, I said, the first thing I want to say is I listened to this table. Amazing children. There are warehouses on the east end of Charleston on Hansford Street. They were called Kyle Furniture Company. My two uncles were sure that the family always had jobs there, and we lived close by the warehouse just in case something happened. So how does a woman who grew up in the other side of the tracks in the warehouse district become a woman of achievement? I have reflected so much over the past few months on this, bringing back great memories of teachers. Bessie Stewart. There was a teacher who was also the principal of Mercer School. Now, the sad part about this, I'm going to sound like my mother, because my mother used to walk with me and she'd say, you know, I went to school over there, but it's gone. I went to school over there and it's gone. Well, Mercer School is the parking lot for the Y. There have been many people, as I said, involved and influenced me. They've been family members, friends, teachers, ministers. My mother always had words of advice, lots of words of advice. She would say, be a giver, be kind, listen, and always do more than is expected from you. And don't do it for recognition. I'm sure she's looking down on me today and saying, what are you doing? We are motivated by people, but we're also motivated by words. The word impossible I love, and I can tell you that the lady on my right is right with me in saying that there is nothing impossible. When people say something is impossible to me, I was told by Mayor Melton, it is impossible for you to be elected. You are going to run at large. It's impossible. It won't happen. Well, folks, here I am. It's impossible. These are things that have happened within this city. It's impossible for Washington Streetscape, for Appalachian Power, for Haddad Park, Schoenbaum Center, as Ashley alluded to. A downtown full of activities. We want young people to be active and to be downtown, and we want them to stay in the city of Charleston. The lighting of 3 bridges. Impossible for the Civic Center to become a convention center that's going to attract people from all over the East Coast. There is no such thing as the word impossible. Charleston is going to become a destination, not a pass-through. We are blessed to have the interstate go through, not around, like Huntington. Believe this, all things are possible. I work with and for people that do make the impossible possible. To live, work, and play. You see, Ashley used part of my speech too. Issues we have, yes, but there are more possibilities. There's a passion and a commitment and a strength to give new life to the city of Charleston. Our ambassadors, and by that I mean the city's ambassadors, are the city departments. The 2 that you see the most would be the Charleston Police Department and the Trash and Refuge Department, and they get the most complaints. The Charleston Police Department, when I rode in a cruiser on the night shift, the young man, the young officer, It was fun to have conversation with him until a car sped very fast down Quarrier Street. Blue lights came on, and he finally got the car to stop on the bridge. I will tell you something. When you complain or when you think that the police department isn't there, I want you to walk in their shoes. I watched that young officer get out of the car, walk onto that bridge in the dark, and my heart went with him. So walk in their shoes. When it comes to the trash pickup in the city of Charleston, I want you to know this. One morning at 6:30, they took me and put me on a truck. When I crawled into the cab, on the radio, you heard the other truck saying, "Make that councilwoman work." And I answered, "I will." I will tell you that that day on those trucks, they moved me. Hanging onto the side, picking up the black garbage bags that we put out, not knowing what's in them. By the end of the day, I will tell you that I couldn't lift the milk carton out of the refrigerator. So walk in their shoes. We are blessed in the city of Charleston to have so many council people and a mayor that politics is not the issue as you're hearing it today. We all have one goal, and that's to make the city Charleston a better place to live, work, and play. I am blessed to work for the city. I am blessed to have your support and trust. And best of all, we are all blessed by the YWCA that does so much to keep women safe and secure. Thank you.
As you can see, these women of achievement are a special group. And it's fitting that 11 years ago, the honorees suggested that the real achievers are the women who have relied on the services of the YWCA. On their initiative, we added the Empowerment Award, which is awarded each year to a YWCA client who has overcome significant adversity through the services of one or more of our programs. For the past 10 years, Brick Street has sponsored the Empowerment Award. I'd like now to introduce Kylie Schaefer, the manager of Brick Street's Business Process and Management Training Team, where she oversees the coordination of technical and operational training, education, and development, to introduce our Empowerment Award winner. Kylie.
For the past 9 years, Brick Street Insurance has been the corporate sponsor of the YWCA's Annual Empowerment Award. This sponsorship, in conjunction with our community involvement and support of those organizations also making a positive difference, is part of our Brick Street 360 philosophy. Sponsoring this award is a natural fit for Brick Street. The outcomes we strive for in our business are quite similar to the desired outcomes the YWCA hopes to achieve in the programs they provide. Our programs both provide services to individuals who have been adversely impacted by events in their lives. We both make every effort to improve their quality of life, and our end goals are nearly identical. Provide the services necessary to these individuals to help them become productive members of the workforce and their communities, ultimately reaching their fullest potential. This year's Empowerment Award winner is no stranger to adversity. She has battled homelessness and gang violence targeting her family. As a result of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, several of her children were mistakenly associated with a rival gang in their area. One of them was shot, but thankfully survived. Following that incident, gang members regularly stalked their home, and the ringing out of gunshots became an all too common occurrence outside their front door. One of her daughters, who was 8 at the time, also had the deflector shot off the bike she was riding. In 2013, she had had enough. She and her family, fearing for their lives, fled. Leaving their relatives and the majority of their belongings behind in Virginia, they headed to Charleston. When initial plans to stay with a relative unexpectedly fell through and money ran out, the family turned to the YWCA Sojourner Shelter. With a safe place secured for her children, her focus turned to finding a job that would allow this single mom to manage the financial challenges that come with 7 children. Utilizing help from the staff at the WISE Job Readiness Center, she was able to set a new course for herself and her children. The staff at the center helped her figure out how to turn her life skills into bullet points for a resume, and even paid for the outfit she wore to the job fair where she successfully landed a job. Today, she works at Macy's in the Charleston Town Center, lives in her own apartment with her children, and they're able to enjoy family life without the fear and threat of the gang violence they left behind. She's committed to being a role model for her children, an advocate for education, and is already proof that nothing can stand in the way of a strong, determined woman. Brick Street is proud to sponsor this award and recognize this year's winner for overcoming the obstacles of her past and achieving independence and success. Please join me in congratulating the YWCA's 2016 Women of Achievement Empowerment Award winner, Devin Burrows.
Hello, everyone. It is such an honor to set the stage for such amazing and other inspiring honorees. I would like to thank the people that helped me along the way. First, I'd like to thank God for my health and strength in this special event and being there for me. I would like to thank my family who came here to help support. I would like to give thanks to the staff at the Sojourner Shelter for helping me along the way and giving me a safe place for me and my kids to rest our head until we obtain housing of our own. I also like to thank Macy's for letting me become another first-class working citizen and a provider for my children. Here's where my story begins. You also sometimes hear on the news of gang violence and shootings, but rarely do you expect for it to be at your front door. One day I was cooking in the kitchen and I heard shots fired. Instantaneously, I knew that one of my kids was in danger. To my surprise, my then 15-year-old son was shot. But thank God, it wasn't anything major. A few days later, my 7-year-old at the time was outside riding her bike, and a stray bullet hit the reflector off. At that moment, I knew something had to be done. Do I stay and fight a battle, or do I walk away to save my life? I chose to walk away. Being offered to come to Charleston by an aunt with just the clothes that was on our back and some of the things that we were able to carry, we accepted the invitation. When we got here, soon after, circumstances changed. I was unable to stay with her. Driving around in Charleston, a stranger told us about the Sojourners Women's Shelter that became our home for the next 7 months. Being at the shelter, you sometimes lose yourself and who you are. But it was those people there who helped me to remember the strengths that I had to provide. I knew at that time I had to step my game up. At the Sojourner Shelter, I learned about the Readiness Center And at the Readiness Center, they taught me about job readiness skills and resume critiques. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. They helped me to obtain things for a job fair that was coming up at the Civic Center. I had to come up with an outfit. I was told to get white and black attire. As she said, they showed me to a store to provide for the outfit. To my surprise, I could fit nothing in the store. But one top stood out, a red top and black pants and red shoes. That is the outfit that I wore to the job fair at the Civic Center. At that point, a human resource operator from Macy's invited me to the table to ask would I apply for Macy's. And I said yes. At that time, she invited me for an interview. With the skills that I was taught from the Readiness Center, I knew I would nail it. The next day, I went to the job fair, and I got the job. I was so excited. Then, soon after, I received another job working for the Civic Center. I used to work day and night, sometimes both jobs in the same day, just because I knew I had to make means of what I wanted to do with my kids. I knew we had to find a place. At the job at Macy's, I've been working there now for 1.5 years. It's the family there that helped me once I got the call that our apartment was available. They gave me the most amazing love that I can ever be grateful for. They housed my apartment with furnishings that they gathered up for me. Me and my kids were excited, and I thank them for that. It was then, soon after, Ms. Marsha Washington called me and said that I was nominated for this award. To my surprise, I was like, really? Like, what did I do? She didn't explain to me and took me in and told me about the award. I never really thought people noticed the things that I do. To me, I was just being a mom. These past several weeks of working with these amazing women right here, I have been inspired. I really have. They inspired me to keep doing what I am doing to provide for my family. They provided me tools to understand that a mother is not just the words of being a mother. It's not just for you who you be a mother to. It's the love that you spread out that shows who you are, and the hard work that you put out that shows the knowledge that people give you. I would like to thank and say, I came a long way. Macy's has really, and Sojourners, YWCA has really given me a second chance, and I really, truly am thankful. My kids are my world. I would do anything for my kids. That's the air I breathe. And I am so honored and so thankful for you all and the time that you guys give me. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
Hi, my name is Jane Powell. I'm chair of the Women Achievement Event, and it's my job and my pleasure to say thanks. Thanks to each of you honorees for sharing your stories. Thanks for everybody for being here. Thanks for the sponsors, and I hope everybody comes back next year. Bye-bye.
Tell people. Devin?